And finally, a word about cones. So of course there are other distinguishing features besides the needles that we can use to identify different evergreens. There's a huge range in the cone size. So for example, white pine have a great big long cone like this that is, you know, when it's packed in on the tree and before it's opened up, it's sort of more cylindrical but quite large. Okay, this is just an example. They can be smaller, they can be quite a bit bigger than that. Whereas other species have tiny little cones. So here's a hemlock cone, okay? So just in comparison to that white pine cone, you can see there's a huge size difference. I don't have examples of all of the cones of these specimens here. Not all of them are producing cones right now, and I wasn't able to find a representative for every species, but that's something you can always look at and compare to a book or a website or whatever resource you're using to help you identify things. The cedar also has quite small cones, but they're quite a different shape and look from the hemlock. One word of caution: if you find cones on the ground, never really assume that they come from the tree directly above you, because squirrels move trees around, other things move cones around, other things move cones around. Ideally, you want to find a cone attached to a tree. And for that, you might need some binoculars or a way to sort of look up into the upper branches. Believe it or not, binoculars are very handy for doing tree ID in the field, not just for looking at birds, but for looking at cones and leaves from a distance.